experiments begin.
Good evening, hello, and welcome to tonight's episode of Ratlock's Mad Lab. Hello, I am Vinny Ratlock, and I am here to make something outstanding, and I'm already having issues with volume. Listen to that. That's how it always goes. Wonderful night tonight. We're going to be doing a we're going to be doing we're going to be fixing something as well as repairing something. This is what I'm going to do. I'm trying to fix Is there sound now? Try this. Solo this. Can you guys hear me now? So you can hear me now. I have the other microphone on, but it is muted. Very well. First off, I want to say a big hello to you all out there. Hello, Master Hooks. I was extremely surprised to see you here. I'm very happy to see you here, and I hope you're having a wonderful, wonderful day. I've known, well, exactly, but Master Hooks has been a part of some of my streams now, going on for 6-7 months. So it's great to have you on here tonight, as well as Paula Allen. As a matter of fact, tonight's episode is going to be dealing a great deal with Paul as well. And that is mostly because tonight's episode, I am starting a brand new mask. And if you're wondering what that brand new mask is, there is a horror film, or horror franchise that Paul has started called Paul's Wonderful Circus. He already has multiple vignettes and shorts out. Season 1 has been out, and now he is working on Paul's Wonderful Circus. The First Harvest presents the First Harvest, as well as and there's this Paul's Wonderful Circus franchise. I'm lucky enough to have him to reach out to WA and create some awesome masks and props, other fun special effects for him. But before we get with that, I'm going to be repairing a mask. A mask had some damage done to it. It was a Christmas gift. Some people still don't know this, but I actually have 2 mini Vinnies. My youngest, which just turned 5 over a couple weekends ago. And then I also have another mini Vinny who is 10 years old right now. And he had a mask created for Christmas. And the boys got a little too rowdy and ended up causing some damage to the mask. If anybody knows Cat Ninja or Nick Cat, I did a replica mask for him. And I guess they were playing kind of hard, and I got some of the paint off of it. So what I'm going to be doing is doing a quick repair job on the mask. And then we're going to be getting right to the actual project mask. So if you all care to join me, I hope. Let's make something wonderful. Let's do this. Let's make something outstanding, if you will. I don't like that version. Let's go with this one. No, don't like that either. There. All right. Now this is just a quick paint job and whatnot. Don't really need the goggles for this. But anytime you have any kind of plastic the PVC and stuff, one of the things you need to know is you need to have it well sanded, especially if you're going to be painting on it. And the reason why is even though I had sanded it, if you look closely, I don't know if it'll pick that up. The grooves or scratches that collects the paint was far and few in between. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to re-sand the area using this P150 sandpaper. I'm going to take a little more paint off around the sides and I'm going to be painting over it. So there we are. And yes, more paint will chip away and come off, but that's fine. I'm welcome to that. A little bit more on this side. And the loose stuff will chip away, and that's good. You don't want that anyway, because that loose stuff will end up chipping and coming off again. You can see, look, there was some loose parts right here. And that loose part right there just chipped off, and you don't want that on there. So you sand that area down too. Just sand all the areas down. Anything potential. But a lot of my stuff comes with a guarantee, whether you be family or friend. And that guarantee is if any of my pieces happen to have certain fails take place, I will do my best to repair those areas. There we go. So now that sanded down, oh, that's nice. You can't even feel where the paint is and the mess begins. That's exactly what I'm looking for. Do a little bit of wipage here, some of the debris off. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some black paint. I'm going to go over this area in the black. You guys have any masks or anything that you have maybe for Halloween or something festive on display and some kind of damage like this? Because if so, watching, because we're going to make this happen. Matter of fact, yes, I'm going to actually use pavement gray for this. That was the original stuff that I used. And once again, I have my lovely canvas here. If you guys remember, I still had this canvas for my first season, my workstation canvas, all done. It's for sale if anybody is interested in buying this. Actually having this as a piece to put on display. Like I said, I've made 4 in the past. That's number 5. That's workstation 5. This is workstation 6. I know some people are like, really? You sell that? And I was like, actually, yes. That was actually one of the very first art pieces I ever sold. But it was actually a piece of cardboard. And there's this artist that was in the same building with me. And I was going to be setting it up for removal. And he said, oh my gosh, he goes, how much are you selling that for? And he said, yeah, that piece, how much are you selling it for? And it was basically cardboard that I laid out on my table while I worked on stuff like this. Just to make sure I didn't mess the table up too much. And he said, no, he goes, hold it like this. I would frame this, sign it there, sell it. And I sold it for $125. So that is amazing. All right, so I'm going to take this pavement gray. And I have sold 3 more of those since then. You got to remember, and too many people try to, I don't know, you know the saying, you are your own worst critic or something like that. Too many people nowadays want to trash themselves. And I guess they feel like if they trash themselves, then they'll be more prone when somebody else decides to tear them down. I believe more in lifting people up because that's too many people are so busy tearing themselves down. and I'm beyond that. There's those people that want to lift everybody up, but they only want to lift them up so that they can take them down even harder. Those are very sad people out there in this world. So they scream positivity while doing their best to tear you in two. All right, so I have this here right now. I have this base, so I'm gonna let that dry for a second, or I can speed it up. Let's see. Yes, speed this up just a little bit. You'll see, because this is a matte, so you'll see the shine right here, this gloss. As I'm heating it, you'll see that gloss go away and become matte again. And when it becomes matte, that means that it's time. Now, there's still pieces of underneath that haven't cured yet, because you'll notice it's matte. As soon as I remove this, you let it off, and then you'll look and you'll wait to see if it starts to gloss over again. If it starts to gloss up again, that means that there's still stuff underneath that have not fully dried yet. Like there's a little bit right that is glossing back up. So I'm gonna hit it again, and wonderful news, by the way, that I'm going to bring to your guys' attention. After this mask is finished, if I don't have any other commissions, I'm going to be starting on something extremely awesome. Show of hands out there if you know about the show Voltron. Well, there has been a convention in central Indiana that has been taking place now for let's say about 4 years. This is the 4th year. It's VoltCon, which is a Voltron and 80s like pop culture convention that takes place in central Indiana. And I was a part of it from the very first and the second. I had to take last year off because my wife had suffered from a severely broken foot. Still broken, by the way, which is insane, even after surgery. So I took the year off, but I am coming back again. They have me on as a guest artist in the artist row selling artwork. So I'm going to have a lot of original pieces. Some are going to be Voltron based, and some are just going to be original and pop culture and whatnot, things like that. But I'm also showing my appreciation by I have a silent auction. They auction off just memorabilia and other pieces, and I'm going to be making a series of bowling pins. I have one right here. Got a bowling pin right here. This bowling pin is going to be painted up and made to look like the characters from Voltron. I apologize. It's still all we still have kind of a connection here in the laboratory. I'll do the best I can. I do appreciate you, Master Hooks, for letting me know. I gotta have somebody on the other side let me know how things are going. But yeah, so I'm gonna be having all kinds of different artwork, photos, crazy stuff. I'm working with alternative intelligent artistry right now, and art pieces that I'll have in the form of prints that will be available at the show. So if you're around the Indianapolis area, October 8th and 9th, stop by the booth, come say hi, come check out some really awesome culture, geek culture, geekery. Sure. Okay, so I have the red out now. Just doing light devs. I'm still using the same brush that I had for the gray. And if you'll notice, there is a grain pattern going across. And I'm going to basically mimic that. I don't want to push down too hard. But continue with the grainage, the flow of the mask. There we are. I'm going to hit it with, and see, that's why I also use the gray part again, because there's some areas where it's a little faded. So when I hit it with that gray still in it, it still gives it the look that it had the gray underneath right here. And see how that takes over. Very nice. Very nice indeed. Okay. We're almost ready to dry. Okay, let's hit that with the heat gun. Mortar, how are you doing? I'm sorry, I've been lacking, and I apologize. So far, we have Fallout Network. So I click on your names just to show everybody that you're here, and then we awesome as always. Master Hooks is here. Hello, Master Hooks, and the Hoosier Barbecue, Skull and Mortar. If you haven't seen it yet, Master Hooks or Paul, I just did a review of his brand new Backstabber sauce. It's a Nashville hot base barbecue sauce. And I'm not, since you guys are here and you haven't seen it, I'm not going to tell you what I thought of it. You'll have to go to my YouTube and watch. Once you've already seen it, then we'll just say, hey. But no, thank you guys for being on. Yeah, Barbecue King of the Naptown area. But yes, I'm going to hit this with the heat gun real quick, dry it off, and then we will get started with the brand new mask. My one of my nephews, I actually made him a mask, venom mask, which all these masks that I created are currently showing me making them, like this mask, as well as the others. You can see them on my YouTube channel, youtube.com/SoBadassNetwork. Shows me making them and stuff. I made a venom mask, or based on a venom mask, using a replica mask near me. But it's basically a smaller hockey mask. And, my nephew stepped right on top of it, and he was like, "Yeah." So I completely demolished it. I was like, "Well, if you catch me, I can try to repair it for you or do something with it." He's like, "Nah, I just threw it in the trash. I didn't want to get in trouble." I was like, "Oh." I was like, if you completely throw away the work, there's no way I can fix it for you. You know, it's like, come on. I don't. I mean, I throw things away, but there's some things that I see the potential, like for instance, this mask right here, which is for the clowns, for Wrestle With This. This is for Giggles. He's mostly in the red. I made a mask for Order as well. He debuted in my Ratlock Wrestling show. He did a great job sporting that mask. But we are now at the time. This mask is now finished. I'll let it here. But we're on to the things. Tonight we're starting. I don't know how closely we can finish. We are doing the mask for Paul's Wonderful Circus horror franchise series. It is a mask he originally had when he was performing for a band. Is that correct, Paul? If you're still there. If you can you reshare the picture of that mask with me on my Facebook, and I can try to bring that up for other people to see what it originally looks like? Because I'm taking what he originally sent me, and I'm going to try to mimic it on this mask. It's funny, everybody's like, "Oh my god, it's another hockey mask." Hockey masks are pretty much universal when making masks. It already has the form of the face on it. It already has the nose out and everything like that. No arguments here. And some people are like, "Oh, why don't you use like a kabuki style mask?" because those masks are like $7 or $8, or they're made of like a case. So if you start to sweat, they fall apart. This is a nice PVC plastic. I can build off of this, and if somebody's wearing it and they sweat, it's not going to fall apart. So there we go. Now, I believe, Paul, we had the mask itself stopped. Was it below the nose, or was it around the top of the nose right here? Like when you wore it, did it go just straight across, or did it actually hook under? Well, wait, here you go. I already have the photo. I'm gonna see if I can bring it up real quick. Like my friend Larry said when he had a small grizzly cub in the back of his car. Bear with. Okay, so it does cover the nose. And see if I can give you guys a quick glimpse of what it looks like. There we go. Let's see if I can share this. It was below the nose, I did notice that. Let's see if I can let everybody else take a quick gander at what it looked like. There. All right, here we go. This. So this is what the original mask looks like. Boom. Okay, so if you'll look, it actually goes right above the bottom lip. It kind of hooks down and covers the cheek. No, the mask is not for a wrestler. The mask is for a character for a horror film or series, horror franchise. There you are. But this was originally done for his character that he was when he was performing for a band. Okay, so if you'll notice, you'll see over here that the left part, see that some of the stuff has been peeled away. Darkened in lightly. It looks like the bottom of it was chipped away, maybe some teeth exposure and whatnot, dark eyes. A lot of wear and tear looks like this mask, and I love it because that's layers. It's putting stuff on and taking stuff off. If anybody knows me by now, I know Skull and Mortar does, definitely, because some of the masks I've made him, he's seen the process, especially a couple of those Jason masks I did. You paint a bunch, and you also take a lot of paint off, and that's what we're going to be doing with this mask. So using that as the reference, whoop. I'm just gonna keep making fun noises. Is that no? It's me just clicking buttons the whole time. Not that one. This one. Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to be marking it down just above the lips. So actually above these two holes that you see here. And then it comes downward and rounds itself up. Be mimicking that on the other side. Play at an angle to see if I can match. I do a lot of freehand. Okay, and so taking care of that, I'm going to leave the nose holes. The nose holes are not in that he was wearing. Just give him a little bit of breathing time. Sealing up this spot right here. Skull Mortar, I'm dagnabbit. I'm going to do my best to find a perfect hockey mask for you. If I do, we're going to try it on, and once we try it on, I'm one of the best masks. Actually, no. I mean, the one mask that I made for you, I thought was pretty close. But I digress. All right, so let's this off, shall we? We shall. And I'm going to do it by heating up. Nope. I always thought that'd be fun to mess with people in the viewing, watching it. It's my destiny. Just sit there and be like, hey, what does this wire do? Anyway. This is plugged in. It's not hot anymore, so I'll leave that down. One of the very first masks that I ever created was built from remember those hockey masks back in the day that were like just a pure white hockey mask, and you could take it and just, like do this with it. It was completely folded up, and it was made of almost like a rubber, like kind of plastic. It was crazy. But that was one of the very first masks I ever worked with when I was modifying masks. And it was 1993, because I remember, because I always liked. My grandmother would paint and do oil paintings mostly, and when they were done, they would sign the bottom of it. And I would always ask them, I said, why did you sign the bottom of it and put the date? It's their way of saying, I cannot, if I do any more to this, I'm going to ruin the whole thing. So, whenever I'm finished with something now, if I'm working on something, I know if I do any more, it'll become overkill. Somewhere on it, I will sign it and date it. Just because. Because if I don't sign it, then that means I'm going to later come back to it and do something else to it. And there's times where I do too much and it's like, oh no, I've gone too far. So here we go. Make sure that this is there. It's going to be simple. I'm just going to take it and just go right across. Okay, take it out that way. And gave a thumbs up. Just slowly but surely. Also, I don't stream on Fridays right now, but on Saturdays at 8 p.m. I have my Horrendously Horrible Horror. And on this Saturday at 8 p.m., we're going to be watching fan films because, you can't come after us with a copyright. But we will be watching fan films that are based on horror video game franchises. First ones is there's a fan film for Dead by Daylight that we're going to be checking out. And me and my wife, Miss Stratlock, are still screening for a second film. Is there, and I'll ask you guys since you're here, is there a fan film based on a video game that you've seen on YouTube that you would like for us to and join us and have fun watching it with us? And it doesn't matter if it's good or bad. I mean, it is called Horrendously Horrible Horror. So it doesn't just have to be a horror film. It can be a horrible horror film. And we can just, have fun. Now, this section is now gone. And I'm eventually going to actually take a bunch of the masks that I've taken apart and put back together and make a Franken mask. So what I've also noticed is right here. That it looks like there's teeth. it looks like teeth to me. So I'm going to do kind of like a little design like that on this. Every time. Every time. And we're back. The shrimps. Or you guys remember, what was it? The Stuff? Oh, that was a fun one. Based on that, so we're gonna go and just do. You see how right here, just doing little bumps, if you will. There you go. And just go down each side of the mask, just putting these little grooves in. Moving to the grooving, to the moving to the grooving. Heard somebody say something about Howard Stern joining the MC Universe or the MC. Does anybody know anything about that? Because I never did any extra research. I'm like, are you insane? Okay. Just 2 more teeth right here. There we go. So I have that little card out. Turn this off. Have it sitting over here to cool down. Not up against the cardboard. What's that smell? It's a fire. Maybe away from the spray paint. Okay, so we have the teeth carved out now. Yeah, another one of my super nerd friends basically said, please don't tell me this is actually true. And somebody said, what? And he said, Howard Stern is joining the MCU. It's like, I mean, well, wait. So, see this mask, which I want to bring up again. Now, looking at this mask, you'll see that it's got pieces shredded off of it. It's got a lot of layers, a lot of damage. Start to leak some, whatever, Howard. Howard the Stern. There you go. We're not going to be stuck in the MCU anymore. It's just going to be a shock jock. So my thought was, the mask has peeling to it. It has the layers of stuff being ripped away and everything. I was wondering how I can mimic that look. I decided to do it is my hand. My duct tape. That's right. I'm just going to put a couple layers of duct tape on the mask. That way, by putting the duct tape on the mask, when I start to do my layers of putting on and taking off and tearing, I have the same kind of look of wear and tear that the mask already has on it. So, and because of the way it is, it's going kind of like an up and down. So that's the same way I'm going to mimic it as well, is to go up and down on the mask itself. So here we are. And I'm going to go ahead and wrap it around to the other side. And when I have it on the other side like so, when I'm finished, I'm going to be using a triple thick gloss to coat the back of it to make sure it doesn't peel back up. Oh God, I really hope he's not done. I mean, Disney's done crazier stuff. All right, here we go. A nice script here. And I'm just going to be covering the entire section of the maps. But don't fret, because I have other plans once I coat it. So you'll still be able to see out. I'm going to do something else right there. And then look, no more holes. A lot of the times when people see the beginning of the mask that I make, it's very, huh. It's like, what is he doing? If he's being crazy. But a lot of some of the coolest artists out there, when you see them start their artwork, you have no idea what they're doing. You're like, this person is just slopping stuff around. I decided, I'll see what my is. Or is that too loud? That's too loud. That's better. Very true. That is how it works. One of my favorites still with this guy was just throwing paint around on this giant canvas as big as he was. He had no clue what he was doing. He was slapping stuff over there. He was dribbling stuff, smearing it with his hands. And then out of the blue, he flips it upside down, and it's a portrait of Bruce Lee. And it just blew my mind absolutely. I was just completely entranced by the whole nature of his artistry going down, because the whole time, like, what is he? Is it just some kind of weird like performance art? It's like, what is this gentleman doing? And as soon as he flipped it upside down, I saw what it was that he was creating. It just completely mesmerized me. It was outstanding. Okay, so I get a good, make sure everything is completely covered. Completely covered to the best of my ability. This movie that Paul's working on, it's going to have a lot of really cool kill scenes in it, and I know because I'm going to be a part of it. Well, I'm not going to be doing it, but I'll be there to make sure everything happens properly. All right, cover that. Fold that in. So fold that in, and then pull this down to the top of it. Right here. All right, so in full coat everywhere that I wanted it coated at. Perfect. Perfecto. And now, take some scissors. These will do fine. I'm going to poke and cut across the eyes. It's true. Mr. Hooks, a lot of people out there do make some really amazing art. It's just the fact. The movie looks interesting. Actually, the funny thing was, this past Saturday on Horrendously Horrible Horror, we did movie trailer viewings where we're watching upcoming films or films that had just come out for this year. And one of the people watching actually stated that they watched Old and they were highly disappointed in it. Like basically said you had to be a really good fan of M. Night Shyamalan to enjoy that film. What a twist. He was dead the whole time. I like the idea of it, but I believe what they had said was that the way that what is it? The execution of the film made it very subpar. But some of the other films we checked out though that was there. The Boy Behind the Door looked really good. That the Netflix Texas Chainsaw Massacre looked amazing. It's already out, so I definitely still need to take time to watch that. What were some of the others? And then they had, the go-tos where, the horror films that use religion as their basis to, frighten the religious people. It's whatever. I'm not too keen on religious horror films. To me, it's like a quick cash grab. It's like, well, if we do a movie that's going to scare the people and make them run home and grab their Bible, it's like, but then you're only focusing on one little piece of the audience. It's like, what about the people that have other belief systems and whatnot? It's like, you're not cashing in on them. All right, there we go. That's some pieces of tape. This guy add this to the let's tape that down. Put a piece of tape right there. By the way, can anybody hear any of the music that I have softly playing in the background? For some reason, it's not playing on my side. I'm like, I hope people can hear the music. It's royalty free. It's diet music. It's royalty free. It's the standard StreamYard music. It's not too overpowering, is it? I hope it's okay. I'm getting ready to talk to several of my friends that are in the music industry about playing their in the background of my shows. I can't add it, but I can have it just playing in the background along the room as I do this, if you will. Hey, what do you know? I planned that perfectly because we're at the end of the tape. Ta-da! Sometimes, as I just realized, when I get way too focused on making something, I took it completely away from the camera so nobody saw me finish it. But I just basically taped the eyes down. And then later I'm going to do a coating of a clear gloss, very thick, to keep the inside protected from peeling and whatnot. So now we have this side. See. So I'll bring this up again. Mask that I'm going out of my way to replicate. If you'll look, it has a white and black theme, but underneath everything has kind of like a flesh tone with some reds in it. So that's actually what I'm going to do on here first. I'm going to do some flesh tones and some reds. The flesh tone based on what the mask is. So into my paint bin. And I already have a basic typical. I believe this color is called Cis White. Um, red tones, which I have right here, some crimson red. Yes, hey, haven't seen you in what, a week? It's good to have you here. Say hi to Sai. I believe hopefully I'm saying that right. Or Yas 10. Eventually I might have to get glasses. But currently we're starting a new mask. This mask is for a character that's going to be a part of the Paul's Wonderful Circus horror series. And Paul, if you can, put the link to Paul's Wonderful Circus, what you currently have on your YouTube channel. So if people want to go back and check it out, they can. Everything's going fine. I just repair right here for this guy. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to watch Forbidden Door. I was in my neck with family emergencies, so I was getting all that taken care of. But I did read a good portion of it, seeing that Moxley actually used skewers in the match. And blowing, that was crazy to find out. So I wonder if there'll be the next show they're going to introduce like Masada or something like that. That would be fun. Ow. Yes, so we're sorry if you hadn't seen this yet. This is the mask I'm currently trying to recreate. Now go away. Not you. You stay. You stick around. So yes, I'm going to be doing my best to recreate that using what I have right here, so it could be a part of the film. We can do some awesome things. This. All right, just making sure. So I need a brush. Where are my brushes? Thank you, Paul. So Paul left a link there if any of you guys want to see any of the previous stuff that he's done for Paul's Wonderful Circus. There is the link that you guys can go check it out. And that's a good one. Yeah, I'll use that one. And I'm going to take this. I'm just going to do a nice coat over the entire mask. Yeah, Bane has a really... Now, see, I love the old school Bane mask too, you know? Yes. Oh, if you like that, I have this guy that I did last year, I believe. I did a live. I do a thing where... on my YouTube page, I have Crystal Lake Customs, where I take hockey masks and I do themes with it. And then I also have one where I do Will at Voorhees, where I take things that aren't Jason masks, try to make Jason masks. But let me solo this right here. And this guy. This is my Slade Voorhees mask, if you will. So I did that a while ago. Still haven't put the head straps on it yet, but it's available. So if anybody does want to purchase of this, well, here, I'll just set it right here, and then I'll bring this back up. This is Slade Voorhees, with the battle damage and whatnot. It's one of my favorites. It's not completely finished. I'm getting ready to finish it completely. But I always tell people when I'm working on stuff, if it's not spoken for already, it's always for sale. Because if I kept everything that I made, you can see a wall behind me. It would just be all masks, props, all of that. My Christmas special, Wrestling Portable Holiday Special. I have this. It's a snow globe which I use to communicate with Santa Claus. So thank you very much. So now let's go ahead and put this coating on this mask. And like I said, it's just going to be a light coating going over the whole thing. It's a very, looking at the mask kind of gives me a vibe of like, say, Purge or something. I'm always open for commissions. I do ask though when people want me to commission me to do this, that I do have some kind of artisanal integrity on it, to put some of my own touches on it. And so far, anybody too, I guess, upset with the go to business for myself on it. This is what I wanted, but it was. No, it wasn't. Yes, it was. Besides being a professional wrestler and a prop maker and a special effects technician and advisor and a host, I'm also a cosplayer. So I know what it's like when people want to do variations of characters and whatnot. One of my favorites that I did was actually the cheapest outfit I put together. I did a gender swapped Jubilee from X-Men. That's why I didn't like graphic design. They want you to, yeah. I do logos, and I do logos and stuff for people for like shirts and their brand and stuff like that. I've seen it too many times where I become a little too trusting, and I can get excited about something. They convince me that that's, we're going to the moon with this, and it's like, oh, okay, and then I start working for it. I mean, yeah, there's sometimes where I wish I would have went to college, but only for what I wanted. Too many times people go to college and they still have no actual aim. Just, well, I got to go to college. Well, what for? Well, I don't know yet. Well, then don't go if you don't know why you're going. But at least that's how I felt. But unfortunately, by the time I realized what I wanted to do, hello, I'm so not fun, or hello, mom. No, you have an awesome logo, you say. But I'm currently working. Everybody, so not fun. Say hello. That's Mama Ratlock. That's my mother. So not fun because she's constantly sewing, and she had such a difficult time trying to set up a Twitch account to watch me, and it's not fun. Okay. But see that my mom jumped in and I completely lost my train of thought. But no, I was doing logos and whatnot for people, and then suddenly the logos that I was making for them, they would say, if you can make me this and design me this, I'm gonna need to have t-shirts made. I know you can make t-shirts. And I'm like, oh, okay. So I'm doing free work for them with the hopes that they will order the t-shirts for me, or the decals or patches or anything like that. And then suddenly I see my work on a t-shirt that they're like, hey, we're taking pre-orders and I'm having it done by so and so. It's like I got sucked into the trap of, do this for free and get paid on the back end. It's happened to me many a times. I know how it is. I'm a very gullible person. Just keep painting till it's a decent enough coat, and then we'll dry. Not only that, one of the other things I'd like to let you guys know that not this Saturday, but the next Saturday. That's right, Mr. Hooks. It happens too many times that you get promises, and it's like I said earlier in the episode, when people build you up, and you realize that it's doing so that you'll take the fall, and you'll take the fall hard, and they can just walk away scot-free. So, but you know what? They needed that to better themselves, so all the more to them. It's us who can persevere and stay back up on our feet. If somebody knocks you down, if they knock you down from such a great height that you cannot raise your head enough to see a light, I'm sorry. But that is one of the points in life, is there will be people that will lift you up just to knock you down. And the only way you can let them know that they can't is by getting back up on your feet, figuratively. Just show them that their trials and tribulations that they put you through has no effect, and that you just keep going. There we go. Button. I like this. Mr. Hooks, and I appreciate you for that. So, always on to bigger and better things. Or as like they always say, the more things change, the more things stay the same. You're a good man, Charlie Brown. Oh, wait, no. I like that. Why is that ironic? You need a graphic designer. By a graphic designer, no less. Well, it is now my clock, 9:06, and I've gotten a decent enough coat on this that I'm just going to be adding red in some spots, and we'll be calling it a day. And once again, just like I normally do, I'm going to use this brush again. From what I've seen on the mask, a lot of the red was placed around here, so I'm just going to lightly hit it in this area. Kind of blend it in a little bit, if you can see right there. I'm just doing some blending right now as I'm talking. I almost feel like I'm summoning the ghost of Bob Ross for this. So just a little more blending here, blending the red in with the flesh tones, and just some marks throughout. But not this Saturday, but next Saturday, for Horrendously Horrible Horror on Saturday. Not only will we be tuning in and stuff, wood grain hockey mask. I believe I can actually do that. Wood grains before on other pieces. Not a hockey mask yet, but I have done wood grain stuff, so I believe I can do a wood grain hockey mask. And then we'll put some red down here around the teeth. There. But no, I actually will. I have an interview that will be debuting with Paul. If you're still there, Paul, say hi to everybody again. But Paul, who is the writer, director, and in Paul's Wonderful Circus presents The First Harvest. I'm interviewing as well as we're going to be doing the world premiere teaser trailer for the film coming out. So definitely tune into that. Like I said, it's going to be a week. Once again, this Saturday, we'll be watching fan films based on video games. Put some red around the eyes. Okay, so there we go. Rinse that out in a second. So here we are. So this is the stopping point for this mask. I got to get better lighting. I got really good lighting over there, but not over here. But yeah, so this is what we have. It's terrible. What am I doing? Let's do it over here. Do it over here. Ah, there. So this is what we have so far on it. Good grief. And it almost got like a Kruger-esque look to it. You're like trying to speed paint a Kruger mask. And this is my stopping point for the night. We're going to be coming back again, working on this Thursday at 8 p.m. sharp. Well, a little dull, maybe like 8:09. And I'll be some more layering to it. We'll be putting more paint on, taking paint off, putting paint on, taking paint off, doing some damaging, peeling some of this duct tape off and putting it on. Like I said, this mask is going to have layers. So you see the mask how it looks right now, and it's going to look completely different to this next Thursday at 8 p.m. Anywho, once again, thank you guys for coming out tonight and visiting with me and taking part in this wonderful, wonderful experiment, if you will, this creation. You remember, because that's one of the things with science is creation, observation, as you guys are, and experimental investigation. Yes, and peace be with you as well, Master Hooks. Every piece you can get. But no, we'll be finishing this mask next week. We'll be talking a little more about Paul's Wonderful Circus as well. If you guys want to contribute in any way, I don't have any sponsors tonight, so it's just me. But, you know, since Skull and Mortar's here, go get some barbecue. Get on skullandmortar.com. Try and hit him up and talk about that brand new Backstabber sauce, the Nashville hot-based barbecue sauce. It is awesome. If you haven't seen it yet, watch my review of it on youtube.com/TheBadassNetwork. I thought I did a pretty good job, you know, cutting it together and stuff, especially with the clips of me, you know, suffering from the Blackbeard's ghost and whatnot. But yes, definitely check out skullandmortar.com. Check out their barbecue sauces as well. Not a sponsor yet. Time will tell. But no, and thank you once again, Master Hooks. Thank you, Paul. Thank you, Skull and Mortar. Thank you, So Not Fun. Thank you, Mom, for coming. And everybody else that was out there, if nobody chimed in, and it's not even done yet, Mother. We have part 2 next week at 8 p.m. Thursday. Thank you all for watching Ratlock's Mad Lab tonight. And just remember, this isn't just creation. This isn't just observation, investigation. This is science.